I was trying to figure out, I'm caught in the spot between being a corporate guy and now leading a nonprofit. So I could sense a lot of, the resonance in terms of thinking between being in the corporate space, a very large corporate actually, and then moving into the nonprofit sector. But for our time today, I want to use our time by just focusing on 4 stories because our time is really less. So I'm going to look at 4 specific stories which I believe will shape our thinking around how can we work with kids. And why I'm saying kids is because I have to tell you, I didn't think we could work with kids. So when I say we are the Movement India. We are a social impact team connecting need abundance and skill abundance, which is, your corporate sector or colleges and students, and of course the development sector, which is, the NGOs and people in need, civic society at large. So in my session today, I am hoping to convey 4 things. So if you get those 4 things, I'm done, okay? And I want to just open it up for questions, ideas. I don't stand here as an expert, especially in the topic I'm talking about today, because I am excited because this is my discovery in the last 3 years. So I'm happy and excited to learn from you at the end of the session. Is that good? Fair ask? Oh, you can say yes, no, yeah, okay. All right, so here we go. Can we go to the next slide, please? Yeah. So many years ago, I heard the story of 2 young boys, aged 10 and 7. Now, they were going, from their village into the forest. They just were exploring, being kids. And while they were doing that, the older kid, he falls into a ditch. Okay, falls into a ditch and he screams for help. He says, somebody help me. And he looks up at the younger one and he says, hey, can you call out for help? Can you ask somebody to come? So they're all screaming, help, help, help. But it's the forest, there's nobody around. So the young kid, what he does is he starts looking around. What can I do? What can I do to help? And as he is looking around, he sees a rope. And this young chap, he decides to tie it around a tree, and he manages, the young chap, manages to lift up this older boy out of that ditch. Now, just symbolically showing you the ditch, okay, AI, thanks to AI. And when he does that, they actually go back to the village and they start telling the story. They said, hey, you know what? This happened to me today. I went to the forest, the older fellow fell in the ditch, and the younger fellow pulled him out. And everybody's like, what are you saying? Can't be true. Young chap, did he pull him out? And everybody's like, this is an unbelievable story. Until they reach a sage or a village elder who says, hey, wait, hold on. This might be possible. The only reason it could be possible is because nobody told him he can't do it, so he did. Does that make sense? And I want to give that as my premise today. A lot of times when children are not the center of our focus, we think, okay, what can they contribute in the social impact space? I mean, that was my fear as well. Talking as a aggregator for between non-profits and corporates or bodies, I'd think, oh man, I have to think of safety. How do I get somebody who's a minor to go and volunteer and think about safety, transport, engaging activities, etc., etc. But over time, one of the things I've learned is challenge things. Don't limit yourself. Don't limit the fact that it is possible, especially because self-discovery can happen for the child. Curiosity can be nurtured for the child. And one of the principles that we have built the Movement India on is based on my second story, is based on the concept of a blender. Blender, all of you looking, where is this guy going? Yes? Mixie. Thank you. All of you looking, where is this guy going with the blender and mix? The mix works well when you get two things right. The right activity plus the right speed. A lot of times when we think about initiatives, we can have the best activity, but the best activity at the wrong speed does not work. Imagine you want to get a juice out. There is some kind of prep work we have to do. Some. When the expectation is that, I know there are a lot of mixies today, we just say, don't do anything, just wash them and put them, blend. But in this space of social impact space, we have learned that if we really want to impact millions, and that's what we really want to do, we want to really ensure that we can champion million people in India to drive social change. We need to get these two things right. Right activity, right speed. Now, in the space of children, especially when we are talking about collaboration to co-creation, one of the most important questions to ask is your design easy? Is your design to work with a school, especially teachers and kids, easy? When it's talking about cutting those edges of the vegetables or fruits, what I was really referring to, have you thought about what does it take to lessen the burden for the teacher? There is no teacher in any school or college who is free. They have enough of work for the week and for the weekend. The last thing they're thinking about is your volunteering activity. They don't have the space. So the chopping or the edges is the art thinking that we are doing, saying, hey, this is going to be fun for you. These are learnings we have had. We've been able to pitch this to schools by saying, hey, we're going to make this fun for your teachers. When they come on a Saturday, like all of us did, there better be something meaningful. There better be something engaging for them. The reporting should be really simple. They shouldn't be like spending after the activity time writing this. So this was the thinking behind how we designed school-based programs. I'm just sharing because I know that you will also help me at the end of this this session. Can we move it? Now, being a corporate professional and trainer, I've done enough of innovation workshops where we tell people to look outside the box. Have you been to a workshop where they said, look outside the box, use the 6 thinking hats, use this, use that. But I want to encourage you with a thought saying, hey, can we look properly inside the box? A lot of times systems exist within organizations, whether it's schools, which possibly are ways in which we can engage very well with students. Before looking outside the box, like just to tell our story, when we started by looking at a very event-based model. What's an event-based model? You look at the year, you find your mental health day, you find your environment day, you find those important days, and you plug and play. Talk to your NGO partner, talk to your talent partner, whether it's a corporate or a school or college, and tell them, hey, can you block this day for the year where we can, engage meaningfully with each other? Well, the only problem with that model is that every time you're not going to get a yes because there are other priorities. Many times, just like our previous panelist said, can we be and stay curious in that space? So what is looking inside the box is basically asking the question, not everything is an invention problem. It might be a discovery problem. You don't have to create something. You might just have to search properly. Is it making sense? Can I see a show of hands? All of you are looking, man. Some of you have not had breakfast today. Okay, just stay with me. I want to just tie things up very quickly. In the next few minutes, I'm going to quickly share with you a model that we are doing with a group of schools called the Vibgyor Group. Have you heard of Vibgyor Group? They're there in about 36, 37 different places across India. And when we first started working with them, it was like, hey, you guys are based in Bombay. We're doing some activities with NGOs. Can you guys help? So what did we think? We have a parent entity called Vision Rescue. So we said, hey, let us connect you with Vision Rescue. Vision Rescue does a lot of work with the urban poor. Maybe your school can connect with Vision Rescue. However, what we realized is they were not talking about just one engagement. Vibgyor was asking us, hey, we just don't need one, we want it for the year. I was like, wow, you're talking my language. And we said, why not? We can do it for you. And not just for Malad, not just for Goregaon. We can do it for all your schools pan-India because we have a network of NGOs. We can easily connect them with you. And we also told them, let's not just do just engagement. Let's just not connect to just students volunteering. But let's also make the experience meaningful. We've been talking about Gen Zs. We've been talking about how do you engage the generation for a meaningful activity. So what we did, this is what the program offers. Okay, you're getting a snapshot. Okay, you're just getting a snapshot of what the program offers. 4 things. It starts off with a boot camp. In all the schools that Vibgyor runs, there's something called as a social responsibility club, similar to a reading club, nature club, etc., etc. What we did is that we ran boot camps in each of these clubs, each of these schools, where they would learn 3 things: servant leadership, ownership, integrity. And we did that through fun activities, experiential learning. Post that, they'd get these journals where they would learn about a specific social issue, like hunger alleviation. So probably we'll teach them, hey, what is the problem of hunger? Where does it impact? What can you do to make a difference? The second thing goes into what is one thing one person can do, skill sharing. And the last part being, what can we do as a collective? Why? In our minds, we were saying, we don't want these kids only to do some kind of volunteering. We want them to also understand why are they volunteering. Allow the child to also have their piece of contribution. In other words, yes, there's so many things we can do together, but what is my contribution in this cause? And that is what the skill sharing is. Each child finds a unique way in which they can contribute. And lastly, we do it together because collective action is what brings the biggest change. So this was the design. And what we did to make the teacher's life easy, we did sessions where we put the larger themes and we recorded videos which the teachers could watch to train the children on these topics. The topics were on education, hunger alleviation, Diwali for dignity, child safety, sustainability. And these videos were put on a platform for them. So what we designed is a web portal. We designed a student's journal. Oh, by the way, I worked with TCS, but I'm not a tech guy. But when we were talking, I felt, hey, this would really work for this because we are trying to answer a problem that they can't solve right now. The problem they couldn't solve was, where do we go to? Who do we work with? How can it be a meaningful interaction? And how can we see results? Next slide. So at the end of the year, what we did is we said, hey, we will give each of your schools, the principal, the parents, the students, an impact report, which they can see on a platform, like on a web page. All they have to do is go and click, and the corporate can see it for the entire, when I say corporate, the larger body of all the schools can see it on a click. So if you look at here, you got right from Malad East to Lucknow to Indore, different parts. And these are only those who have given their data. Okay? So this is something we are also learning. We are learning how do we incentivize the students and the teachers to ensure that they take pictures, they follow the format, and also give us the data. Next. Are you all with me so far? Okay, I want to quickly show you one report, just one report. Here we go. This is 2526 Malad East, very close to us. So every school principal, every parent has access to this. It shows that, okay, this year 527 students spent 1,054 learning hours. They had skill sharing and action. This is what they did, 2000. Yeah, so you can hear, can we have the audio, please?
To cooperate with a certain set of audience or people, then leadership, so I know how to lead a particular course or a program.
It's the boot camp. Yeah.
In Raksha Bandhan, we handmade special Rakhis and sold them to children at a nominal cost. And all the proceedings were given to the poor people. And
so you look at, anybody can see each session, what did they learn, what did they do individually and collectively as a school and as a larger group. Yeah. So, yeah. And what is very interesting is what we would not think a child. Now, if you asked me this 3 years ago, hey, can a student in a school who is in his 8th standard, can they really make a difference?
Teachers were there to go and take care of them happily.
One school, huh?
And it was really nice.
550 kgs of groceries donated.
And
one school.
Overall, it was a really good experience for us and for everybody who attended this event.
We have the teacher giving their feedback. So we've tried to kind of collect, and put these things together. So it's very easy to report as well. And we partner with various NGOs across different places. And the priority is given to the NGOs that the school already works with. So we basically tell them, hey, you take ownership. You say if you want a specific NGO you want to work with, go ahead, work with them directly. Just report these numbers and give it to us. If you don't have an NGO or don't know a government school or place or child home that you don't have a connect with, we will help you. So they have community visit, they become mini teachers, okay? Again, Malad East, Sneha Sadan, about 15 beneficiaries. Awesome. So, just a snapshot of what that experience was for us. Are you all with me so far? Okay. Now, we did 2 years of this. We are now going to start the 3rd year of running this, initiative. Close to 2,000 students across these schools. 6 activities throughout the year. And I started asking myself a few questions. Okay, I said, okay, if we really have to do this, how can we do the same kind of work but shorter time? Because 1 year is a lot. Secondly, how do we really know that they're becoming change makers, right? You can also have an activity mindset. You have an activity mindset where you're saying, hey, 6 activities here, so I just somehow get it done, right? So we designed something unique. Last December, we launched something for an international market. I got a school in Oman, Muscat, who said they are an international school and they want their students to understand social issues. They want them to be more socially conscious. So I said, fantastic. Let's give you a proposal. We are working with so many schools. So what we did is this. We designed a journey for them, which had an orientation program virtually, did a boot camp in person. That means they flew in from Muscat to Mumbai. Okay, they spent a week with us where they did boot camps and action projects over a few days. And then they had one-on-one mentors. We found people who will mentor them for a period of 3 months. At the end of 4 months, they actually left and felt like change makers. So we reworked this design. I have a video to show you, but I don't think we have the time today. So can we skip that, please? Can we go to the next one? So I want to stop right there. I want to stop right there and say, hey, these are just models. These are just ideas. These are ideas based on the fact that children can be at the center of social impact. I didn't think it was possible, but now I am finding ways in which we are able to see some change in terms of engaging children meaningfully. My question to you, how can you do that for the communities, workplaces that you serve? Now, since I have about 5 minutes more, do I have 5 minutes? Okay. So I was wondering, can we do a small exercise? Yeah, because people like me, if we get a group like this, we will not leave you. Okay, so why I want to learn as much. So what I realized that Bhumi and Project Mumbai have given you a beautiful book. Okay, I want you to write one question, top of the mind question that you have had after listening to me for 10 minutes. One question. 30 seconds. Can you do that, please? Go ahead. Any question, top of the mind question that you have had. Done? Great. Now, there's this corporate guru, okay, called Marshall Goldsmith. Okay, he's probably one of the best CEO coaches in the world. And instead of feedback, he promotes a concept called feed forward. Okay, it has only two things. It says, learn as much as you can, help as much as you can. Just two things. Learn as much as you can, help as much as you can. My request for you in the next 3 minutes is for the question that you have written, okay, in your sheet. Can you look at your neighbors who are there at your table and can you tell them, hey, can you help me as much as you can? Okay? Can you do that? 2 minutes. Trust me, everybody is an expert. I just said that a child has the potential to influence. Why not your neighbor? So 2 minutes for this. You can just quickly look around. Okay. Ask your neighbor, hey, help me.
Right. 6 minutes. Total. Yeah.
So what I have told them is 2 minutes. Okay, if you can just tell me at the end of 2 minutes.
Okay.
And I'm just going to ask them one word. Hey, how was this experience?
Sure.
And any feedback, anything that they have for me or questions.
We'll have time, yes.
Otherwise, I am done with what I have to share.
Got it.
I had a video as well. I'm happy for you to share it with them. They can watch it later.
We will.
One video that I had. Yeah. It's okay. We don't have to share them now. Later, we can share it later.
Yeah, we're noting it.
Yeah. If it's useful for people, because now time, I don't want to. Check. Help as much as you can. Learn as much as you can. Okay? Thank you very much. You didn't see that happen, right? Okay. I have one. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say a sentence and I want you to complete it. Okay? Was that all okay? Yeah? So when I ask you this question, I want you to shout it as loudly as possible. Okay? This conversation was... Okay, some people are still plugging in. One more time. This conversation was good. Not a typical response we get for feedback, right? Feed forward is very powerful. We learn as much as we can. We helped as much as we can. And guess what? The conversations are just beginning. I've just set the motion. Okay, just got you guys started. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for engaging. If you have a question for me, I'm around. Okay, so more than happy to connect. Cost per school. So it's a very, so school also bears a huge expense because they have to take, so it works, I think some schools charge around $3,000 per student per year. And they have a fee per, like for different clubs. So it's factored in their fee for the year. Of course, we can't do that for an international school. So when I say international is when you fly people in, you have to work on your, costs accordingly as well. Yeah. No. So this is open for everyone. So that is a problem I want to solve. One of the thoughts we have, I've not built this yet. I don't know, you have to help me as well. I don't know if you can help me as well. Because one of the thoughts I'm thinking right now is it? Okay, please. I don't have the answer for that yet. One thought I've been having these days is, this Coursera, these MOOCs, right? What if we could build something online where people can contribute whatever they want? I don't want to give it for free, okay? Because free means, the problem with free, right? People are like, there's no value. So we can let people pay something, okay? Even if 50 rupees, 100 rupees, I don't have a problem. But the key part being that they are accountable to that learning. So only if they finish milestones do they get a certificate. and different things. So we can work and be happy to hear your thoughts, sir. Yeah. Anybody else questions? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah. 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 The larger reach. Right. Right. Valid point. I take that. Thank you for that comment. Yes. Yeah. Anybody else question, insight, something useful, helpful for me?
Sam, the thing is, we've said that the family is the foundational unit. And
Yeah.
so if the values are different
Yeah.
from school and home,
Yeah.
it came up earlier. Is there some thoughts you had to involve them?
So one of the thoughts we had was, like if we kept this public, we kept this public, we even wrote to the parents. For example, when we do the Global Citizen Bootcamp, we individually write to the parents telling them that, hey, your son Sachin did so many amazing things. We would like you to encourage him doing this a lot more. Catch him doing these things again and again. So this is something we have thought of at this point. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for asking. I think that's it. Thank you so much, everybody. I hope you like the session. Yeah.
Thank you, Sam. And to felicitate you, I invite Neha Srivastava, Director for Volunteering from Bhumi, to please give you this.